Hey, I'm Fern. I'm making this video because I have EDS and I wanted to share some natural ways to deal with some of the symptoms that we deal with. If you don't know, EDS is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's actually a group of 13 connective tissue disorders. So there's a huge variance in symptoms. I'm going to be talking about my symptoms and how I deal with them naturally with herbs. I have type 1. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a certified herbalist, so if you try any of these things, it is important to talk to your care provider and do your own research. Also, this is my first ever video. I say amazing a lot, apparently. I do think I mean it, and it's pretty awkward, so I'm sorry. But there's a lot of information that I think is good in this video, so hopefully you find something that might be helpful to you. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I will put all the information in the description box as well. So the first thing that I want to talk about is probably the worst symptom, and that's pain. So I treat pain in like 3 different ways currently. One of them is physical therapy. And when I say I treat pain with it, I'm thinking more long-term. Because it kind of sucks right now, but I do think it will help long term. My physical therapist is really knowledgeable in EDS. Not all physical therapists are. It is a rare disorder, but she helps me a lot, like unlearn things. For instance, I turn without lifting up my feet because I have the ability to like subluxate my hip or my knee in order to turn without having to step. So she taught me how to turn properly, these things that you would think as a grown woman I would know how to do. Super helpful. I love physical therapy. A love-hate relationship, but I am really grateful for it. So that's my first thing. My second thing is topicals. So I use 3 currently. And we'll start with this one. My friend Jessie made it. She's the sweetest. It's like a CBD salve, which you can find anywhere, all over the place. What I would say about the CBD salve that I like is that it has a low scent, so I don't feel like it's disruptive to put it on if I'm like out in public or with people. And it sort of takes the sharp edge off. It doesn't really alleviate a lot of pain. It's more of like saving you in the moment. The next one is Biofreeze. If you haven't used this before, the active ingredient is menthol. There are actually a bunch of really amazing herbs in here, so I think this is kind of amazing. But I really do like this. So it comes in a few different ways to apply. I have the roll-on, and that is because I don't want to touch it. Because the active ingredient is menthol, I just like don't want to get it all over my hands every time I need to apply it, because when you're in pain, sometimes you need to apply it a lot. But I really do like this. I think it works really well. And I have been told that it is similar to like applying an ice pack to an injury or a swollen area. So I don't know how true that is because I haven't looked at the research yet, but that's something cool that could potentially be true. But I really do enjoy this. I think it helps a lot. My favorite is Datura oil. So I will put a link down in the description to show you where I get my herbs or my natural remedies. Datura is a plant. It's a flower. It's a beautiful flower. It is a poisonous flower. So it actually says on here, external use only, with an exclamation point. So the only negative thing I would possibly say about this is if you like accidentally drink it, you would be in a lot of trouble. But as long as you don't drink it, it is amazing. This is by far my favorite topical pain reliever. You don't need a lot, it works very quickly, and it works for a long time. So I would highly, highly recommend Datura oil for topical pain. So the other way that I treat pain or deal with pain is internal herbal treatments. So I did make 2 of these, so the labeling is actually hideous, so I'm sorry. But this is a CBD Glycerite. So it is internal CBD, and I like this one because I think that it helps my body lose tension. I don't use it as much anymore, But I do like it, yeah, basically just for what I said, relieving tension, which I find helps relieve pain. The other one is wild lettuce or Lactica cereola. I made this tincture too, so. But it is really good for acute pain. So like I use this when I do something, which if you have EDS, you probably know is fairly often. So I use this wild lettuce like if I dislocate something, or, you know, basically if I dislocate something, or if just something is hurting in particular, I will use this and the pain is amazing. Short story, I have a friend who was accidentally cut on his hand by a chainsaw that someone else was using. It was like very deep and super scary. I gave him some of this and he said that the pain went away immediately. So it works. I love wild lettuce. And then the third one is Devil's Claw Tincture. It is an anti-inflammatory, so it works in that way, and it relieves pain for me a lot. Just like most herbal remedies, you get more benefit when you take it over time. So I take Devil's Claw every day, and I think that it has relieved pain for me over time, which is really cool. I would say that overall my pain levels are lower than they used to be, which actually I didn't even know until I just said that right now. So that's hella cool. I feel good about that. So with EDS, sometimes people have POTS. Sometimes people have POTS all on their own. I have both. And if you have it, then you know that it causes a lot of lightheadedness, a lot of dizziness. Sometimes you pass out, and sometimes you just generally feel out of it on days when it's acting up. So two things that help. I actually don't have both of the tinctures I use, but I use licorice and hawthorn. So licorice is actually to raise your blood pressure. If you already have high blood pressure, you're not supposed to use licorice because it can raise it even more. So if you're like me and you have low blood pressure, licorice is amazing. And then hawthorn is the other one I use, which I will add in the description. And that is for regulating blood pressure, and it works with the heart as well. So again, these are long-term medications or long-term supplements to help with the symptoms overall, and I do think that they've helped. The other thing I use for POTS symptoms is SaltStick, the Vitassum. And actually, if you have EDS or POTS, you can get a discount on these, and I think that's amazing. It made me really excited. It's basically hella sodium and hella potassium. So short story with this is I like black out all the time, especially if it's hot, but most especially if I've taken a bath. So I take a bath, I stand up out of the bath, and I almost pass out every time. I don't know why I still stand up fast, but I do. So I tried the salt stick for the first time, and I got in the bath, and I got just up to stand out of the bath, and nothing happened. I could see. I didn't black out. I didn't feel shaky, lightheaded, nothing. And I truly didn't know that some people just felt like that. Like, it was crazy to me. So I love SaltStick. You have to take 2 at a time, and you can take up to 10 a day. So they don't last a super long time. That would be like the downfall, but I do use them when I need them, and I think that it really helps. Next up is nausea. So sometimes people with EDS have gastroparesis, although again, you can have gastroparesis without EDS, but the way that gastroparesis really messes with my life is nausea, among other things, but nausea is the one I can treat. And so 2 things I use for that. One of them is Gingins, which is basically ginger candy, and I could just drink ginger tea, but Gingins are so good that I eat them without a problem. They're so good, and what I would say about them is that they help for a moment. They don't take it away, but maybe just for a moment you'll find relief, which when it's really bad, there's nothing better than a moment of relief. I guess full relief would be better, but you know what I mean. The other thing I use for nausea is peach leaf tincture. And I just started using this. I've been in a gastroparesis flare-up, so it's been pretty bad. I would say I get nauseated every time I try to eat, and so I can't eat very much or very often. And so what I do with the peach leaf tincture is I take it before I'm about to eat, like 30 minutes before, and then I'm able to like stomach more food. It's actually amazing. It has made life a lot better. So I highly recommend the peach leaf tincture. And then the second to last thing I want to talk about, with pain, I also find that like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just be so tense, like whether it's my hands or my shoulders, my neck, and I think that it causes more dislocations. So it wakes me up in the night. It's horrible. I'm sure that some of you deal with that too. But the two things I use, magnesium was recommended to me by a lot of people. I know a lot of people with EDS use it already, but if not, I think it's been huge. You take 2 teaspoons? Yeah, 2 teaspoons, and they say to take it at night because it makes you sleepy. I find that if I take it in the beginning of the day, I just have a better day. My body can sort of relax. I feel a little bit better overall. I feel calm, if you will. But I really do love this stuff. It doesn't taste horrible. It doesn't take a lot of time. And yeah, it's made a huge difference for that as well. But what's even better is this muscle relaxer tincture that my herbalist and teacher made for me. So this one is kava, pedicularis, and prickly poppy. It's amazing. I took it the first time and I slept through the night for the first time in I cannot remember how long. Like I said, I always wake up because I'm all tense, you know, and then I wake up and I'm stiff, or, you know, just something is out of place or something hurts. And this allowed my body to just relax a little bit, and I had a full night's sleep. It was truly amazing. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's the best. So the last thing is mobility. Some days I need extra help to get around, and my mobility aid of choice is a Neo walk stick. Okay, so if you had told me like a few years ago I would be obsessed with a walking stick, I probably wouldn't believe you. Although maybe I would. I'm kind of weird, but I just think that this is so beautiful. It's handcrafted by this woman who is super lovely and sweet and amazing. It has a great selection, but I love this because it's light. It gets the job done. It feels comfortable on my wrist. It moves easily, but also people compliment it. Like young people compliment it. I was at the grocery store the other day and this young person was like, "Your cane is cute." And it made me feel like, oh, my cane is cute, you know? Instead of just being self-conscious and no one really saying anything. It was just cool that like someone my age was talking about my mobility aid in a way that like felt nice. So I love Neo walk sticks. Highly recommend them. They're super comfortable and they're beautiful. And they're personalized to your height. The last thing with mobility is just this very simple thing, but this ball. So I use this ball at physical therapy, and I use it to help things stay where they're supposed to. So like I'll use it between my legs if I'm doing a squat or something. And if I do it without the ball, then I'm feeling pain. And my physical therapist says that it's because, you know, my knees are going inward or just something's moving in like a weird way. Whereas if I have this, it kind of convinces things to go where we want them to go. So it's really helpful.